iba dyan, out of stock. Oh, sinikutan ko pa ng cursor.
Tutorial para mag-order.
Ha? I think sold out na yan. Kasi dati pa to ng video. Pero may mga bago doon. Sorry sa delay, lumindol kanina. Bago yung next screening, meron tayong small na Q&A. Sit down, conversation. Follow Cine Archipelago on Instagram. Ganyan siya. Archipelago talaga siya, pero ang handle niya is meron din siyang YouTube. Ay, may Morados in the house. Subscribe daw, sabi nung cursor sa Facebook. We'd like to acknowledge the presence of Lawrence Ang. Yes, in the house. Ang haligi ng Philippine cinema. Greatest editor in the world. Ayun. Ano po ba itong mga nangyari dito? Yung dalawang ate, itong talk na to na sit down ay isi-shoot on video. So, meron tayong mga volunteers dyan. Si Ate Jolie, no? Si Eric Bico. Ang mga music ng Archipelago ay nasa Spotify, ha? I-loop ninyo yan. Photo na lang everything. Photo. Shane Ann Robles. Sana. Oy, DJ Shane. Woo! Jason Tanliwag, everybody.
Hi everyone, I'll be moderating this talk for today. Thank you again for attending this particular screening of Archipelago Rising, essentially short films made by our young filmmakers who are also in Archipelago. I'll call three of them on stage. GT Trinidad, who is the writer and director of The River That Never Ends. Palakpakan niyo siya. Jaime Morados. Maria Estela Paiso, who is the writer-director of It's Raining Frogs Outside.
Gel Osorio and Therese Malvar.
We'd like to also call Therese Malvar, who is one of the actors in Jaime's films. Palakpakan naman natin. And then let's call on Gail. Tara na, Gail. Wala nang pièce de resistance. Come on. Anyway.
Dito ako sa gilid lang.
Anyway, let's sit down. I want to ask Gail. Unahin na kita. Yeah. Gail, as essentially the mother of Archipelago, could you talk to us about what Archipelago is?
Hello po. Thank you for coming and watching our short films. So Archipelago, for those who don't know, it's part of the Binisaya Movement Inc. The Binisaya Movement Inc. is the organization na nagpapatakbo ng Binisaya Film Festival annually sa Cebu City. And beside Binisaya Film Festival, the other program that we run is Archipelago. So it's essentially a boutique production company where we, yung mga emerging filmmakers who we find through the film festival, we support them in their mga projects and endeavors.
Okay, I think one of the first filmmakers that I came across that actually introduced me to Binisaya was actually Estela. Estela, could you talk to me about how you found Archipelago? And also, like, I know that you participated in yung shootout sa Binisaya. So could you also talk about that? Yeah.
Kaya ako po talaga na-meet si Mama Gail tsaka si Derek Keith kasi Quiapost ako. Wala na, umalis na. Kumain na si Sir Lo, sorry. Pero nag-intern kasi ako for Quiapost. Doon ko na-meet si Derek Keith, si Mama Gail. Tapos ka-work ko muna sila sa editing before ako naging director under the both of them sa Archipelago. Yung Archipelago, I think, nag-message sila sa Facebook noong 2020? 2021? 2020, tapos virtual yung first batch of Archipelago. Tapos, uy, may feature ka ba? May story ka ba na gusto i-develop? Tapos ako, Benham Rising, tama. Tapos ako na editor, na walang balak mag-direct. Sige, meron. Tapos, yun yung nangyari. And I think sumali din ako ng shootout that year. So formally, naging partner rin ako ng Binisaya for a year. Tapos yun, yay. Yun, ever since, part na ako ng Archipelago. Yay, okay.
JT and Jaime, I guess I want to ask, how did you find your way into Archipelago? Maybe JT first, yeah.
Ano po, nag-sign up po ako dun sa Benham Rising na consultation kina Merut. Tapos, yung same script, River, pero ang old title na ay Baby. 6 pages lang siya that time. Tapos parang, oh, yung vibe nila ay iba. Tapos parang, I like that vibe. Tapos parang before kasi nun, nag-jury rin si Sir Keith sa sinalihan kong film festival, yung Cine. Tapos parang nagbinisaya rin yung film na yon. Tapos parang nilapitan po namin sila, hala, baka po pwede magpa-help sa inyo, ganyan. Tapos yun po.
Okay. Jaime?
Yeah, I think compared to Estella and JT's experience, because they really developed their films with Mama Gail and Sir Keith already before they had pitched to Q Cinema. In my case, I knew about Mama Gail and Sir Keith first in Binisaya 2021. My film won Horizons Jury Award there. And then, so they were really, like, I really look up to them as filmmakers. So when I got in the pitch for Q Cinema 2022, I really needed a producer. So it was a very last minute thing, but like, thankfully they accepted the project with like, almost like a week lang to fix everything. Like, nag 180 yung initial pitch ko. In time for the Q Cinema pitching. So yeah, that was like, I remember we would rehearse and like fix my deck and like all my documents 10 p.m. to like sometimes 4 a.m. like every day for like 6 to 7 days. So it was, yeah, that was my journey getting into Archipelago. So Binisaya first, then I just messaged her on Facebook. Yeah.
Actually, can we talk about that? So all three of your films, like, I think premiered at Q Cinema. So si Estella in 2021, si JT and si Jaime 2022. I was also selection committee for that. I just want to share. Anyway, but I also find na, and Gail, you also have had films in Q Cinema. Like, could you talk about like maybe what your prior experiences were and how you actually prepared like these three young filmmakers in the process? Yeah.
I think mainly because Q Cinema is the biggest platform that offers support sa short films. So sila yung pinaka nakikita when it comes to short films. Where else could we go? So for example, may film si Jaime, when it got selected to pitch, you got shortlisted now before we came in? Oh, or no? We didn't know. Ano, basta like, so when they ask us for that, so Q Cinema talaga ang number one na pupuntahan. But then we also encourage everyone to apply to like the Singapore Short Film Fund, and then other short film funds na malaman namin, and then we announce it to the group na, oy, submit kayo dito. So for those who don't know, meron sa Hong Kong, may short ano din doon kung gusto niyo mag-apply. So yun lang. It's more of looking for opportunities for short films.
I guess I want to talk to like the three of you because si Estella, alam ko directorial debut niya in Q Cinema, and obviously like a festival film has a limited amount of time. And I know all three of you have had experience na walang ganong type of time pressure in making your films. I guess, could you talk about the difference creatively, like when there's preparing a short film for a specific festival debut, and then preparing a short film that you're creating on your own time, yeah? Or maybe not on your own time, because meron pa rin certain deadlines, di ba? Yeah.
I guess, pag may festival deadline, wala kang choice. So, mapupush ka talagang, okay, unhealthy siya, di ako natulog, umiyak ako. Marami akong coping mechanisms sa pag-deliver ng pagkain kasi nagbe-breakdown na yung buong team ko, kasama ko. So, I guess pag may festival deadline, kailangan mong i-make most, kunyari kami, parang offline and online, 1.5 months, 2 months, tapos may CG, everything. Sabi ng may malas-malas dyan somewhere. Sound booth and like camera here. Diyan yung DP ko and AD ko. Tinatanong ko sila if kaya, tapos parang ang lagi nilang sagot is, wala naman tayong choice. So, yun yung festival deadline. Yung current ko na ongoing na short, ayun, nauusog siya palagi kasi nag-get in the way ang real life and ang bills and kailangan mag-work, so napupush siya. So, I guess, personally, mas gusto ko yung, mas gusto ko yung may deadline para lang matapos na siya. Kasi yung buong thing, masaya siya and painful and process talaga siya. So, nakapagod siya in short. So, mas gusto ko yung may deadline personally. Kayo. Ay, meron naman po palang deadline, sorry. Hindi lang siya kasing strict, I guess, na may hinahabol na premiere. So, yeah.
What about for Jaime and for JT? Si Jaime muna, I'm interested, yeah.
Like, more on the time pressure, no, compared a festival and without one. You know, I think that's something I had struggled with, like, ever, like, till now. Like, that's a question that I have in this whole film festival journey. I started film festivals kasi, like, I was 14 pa lang. And I already knew na parang, you know, when there are grants, there's this certain time period compared to nga when you're doing something for fun and then it's at your own pace. You can edit it as long as you want. But I agree with, now, I kind of agree with Estella because I'm having like this taste now of like when a project prolongs and then you sort of, either you lose heart or you get so heartbroken, you lose heart, na parang it gets rejected in some festivals, you can't find any funding, compared to sometimes you'll really push for it more. I guess that's the beauty if your project like prolongs, na parang you improve it more and more and more. When it's in a festival already, I don't know, like it's the same, like you don't sleep, especially if you're a student, like JT and I, parang, I remember when we were doing the Q Cinema pitches, we were having finals. And it was more or less like the same thing that they were asking for. When we were making the film for Q Cinema, we were also making other films for our class. So parang, I don't know, I guess it gives you a taste of like the real world and like the hustle of filmmaking, you know, when it's in the festival setting already. Yeah.
JT?
Iniisip ko po kung, kasi parang yung films na ginagawa namin before ay it's either for school project or itong Q Cinema, ganun. So parang lahat sila may deadline. So the only film that I remember that we did for the love of cinema was 2020 short, yung first film namin na As If Nothing Happened. Parang mas nag-work din yung may deadline kasi parang feeling ko kung walang deadline, feeling ko wala akong magagawa. Feeling ko hindi kami nare-record mag-submit ng films, feeling ko ano. Pero like, different kasi yung previous experiences namin with Q Cinema kasi sobrang intense talaga. Ay, ganun pala yun. May ganun palang thing. Parang kami, naglalaro lang kami sa pitch, ganyan. Tapos, ayun, pas ganun pala yung pitching. May script pala dapat siya. So, tas ayun. Sobrang helpful ng Archipelago when it comes to packaging. I feel like sobrang galing nila talaga doon.
I have to ask Therese, kasi nandito siya. Wow, Therese! Anyway, Therese Malvar. What made you join Jaime's project? And then, I guess, in the process, obviously, maybe things change about it. Could you talk about your involvement?
Actually, nung wala pa siya sa Q Cinema, nung part pa siya ng sa MIT, doon niya pinitch sa akin yung story na yun. And because we were org mates, kasi schoolmates kami sa Mint, and nung binasa ko yung script, parang, ay, shucks, parang gusto ko yung heart of this story, which is love for film, in a way. And the first film that you watched, parang nabago yung mundo mo, yung pagmamahal mo sa isang bagay, ganun. So, nagustuhan ko siya. And then, super unique ng concept ng ang pagliligtas sa dalagang bukid. And also the way he pitched it to me, sobrang galing. So parang napoo naman agad ako. And then a lot of things change, ang daming obstacles then challenges, lalo na sa schedules namin. And then dumagdag pa yung na-pull out ako. Hindi, joke lang. Hindi dapat ako part ng film because of scheduling. But then, nung nasali na siya sa Q Cinema, sumakto rin na pwede na rin ako on their shooting dates. Tapos bumalik ulit na parang na-recast ulit ako sa pelikula. So, yun. And then finally, yun yung first Q Cinema experience ko na yes, na hindi cameo. Kasi yung very first ko was Batang Tubig and then cameo lang. So ito yung pinaka first Q Cinema experience.
Actually, tanong ko kay Gail. Wow, ang dami kong tanong for Gail. Gail, how do you find like the people that you eventually collaborate with? Parang, and are there certain qualities about either the films that they make or their dispositions as filmmakers that draws you to, you know, these specific voices?
We like to support the filmmakers who have gone through our film festival, Binisaya Film Festival. Kasi we focus on regional, mga ganong things. But in terms of the kind of projects, nakita nyo naman siguro there's a certain, not look, na a certain vibe, certain something dun sa trauma to the film. So I think it's like an it factor, no? Parang, it's an Archipelago, fits in the Archipelago lineup. So parang may ganun, ano pa ba? And it's all, taste naman to lahat ni, sabihin ko na, taste naman to lahat ni Kit Delero. The film festival is taste ni Kit. The Archipelago films are taste ni Kit. Yun. So, like, if you want to be discovered, no? To be part of the Archipelago, kilalanin nyo lang si Kit Delero. I don't know asan siya, pero the key is Kit Delero. The key is Kit. Ayun.
I think we have. Does anyone have any questions for our filmmakers or for Gail, especially if you're interested in making short films, mga ganun?
Ayun, may mic si Kit. Ayun.
Yan, may mic si Keith. Or kung gusto nyo kausapin mismo si Keith, you can. Do you have a question? What's your name and your star sign? And then we can get to your question.
I'm Nuki and I'm a Leo.
Love that.
Ay, same kayo ni Keith. Ayan.
So this is for JT. So I watched your film yesterday. Will always be yesterday. I think about few festivals ago. So I just want to ask, like, what was the shooting process? Kasi I think it was released 2021. So I guess that was pandemic era. No? And how was the like casting? Like ano yung deciding factors, like, okay, I'm gonna get this actor over this, like, mga ganun stuff. Yeah.
Yung yesterday ba to?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, yesterday will always be yesterday.
Ano siya, this year lang pala siya. This year lang siya natapos. This year lang din naman siya sinut, January. It's for class requirement siya. So, so ayun, yung casting, kasi parang personal story siya. So, tropa ko talaga yung story na yun. Pero hindi siya actual story. Tapos parang, gusto ko lang gumawa ng something out of my heart, ganyan. Tapos, yung casting ay kung sino pinakamalapit naming kamukha. Gano'n, nung time na yun.
Okay.
Tapos, hindi rin kami particular with kung professional ba sila, gano'n. So, mas looks, mas vibes, mas dating, gano'n.
This is for Jaime, actually. For Dalagang Bukid, I've never got to ask, like, what was the moment you, parang, like, that popped, like, what were you doing or what were you watching that popped in your head that, oh, I'm gonna write this, and it became Dalagang Bukid?
Good question.
Yeah. I said this in my pitch, Jace, if you remember.
Yeah, I do.
The Dalagang Bukid was in my brain, like, I consider it to be in my brain since I was a kid because yung lola ko kasi, she was an aspiring theater and movie actress. Like she would go to Sampaguita Pictures, ask if they have casting calls or whatever. And then there was this play that she did when she was in high school called Dalagang Bukid. Because Dalagang Bukid, the movie is, as in the one that was shot 100 years ago, was a video of the play. And how it's adapted nowadays is more in a stage setting. So when she found out about that, there was like this rumor going around in her school saying na, oh, there was a movie about it years ago, but hindi na namin mahanap kasi wala nang kopya, nawala daw siya in a house fire for the studio. So as someone who is an aspiring filmmaker over the years, ever since I was 9, that information was like just there na parang I would build up those kind of like parts of the bits and pieces of the story over the years, and I was always searching for more information about it, and there's not a lot. Yeah, so that's where the film came from, which is basically literally just a couple who watched the film when it premiered during those days, and then now that it's gone, like what will he do about it? Na parang he's trying to put all the bits and pieces together and what this film really means to him. So the main character in Dalagang Bukid is really just me. Now, what will you do for this film you don't really know about, but it means so much to you even if you haven't seen it? Ayun. That's why I would, like Terry's right, it was a film that was really close to my heart because in a way it's a love letter to Philippine cinema also. Yeah.
Actually, yun yung exact pitch niya, kaya siya nakapasok ng Q-Cinema. So yun. Yun yung first slide niya dun sa PowerPoint. Yeah. Anyway, I think we have time for one more question from the audience.
Hello po. Bale, ako personally kasi ngayon ko lang ulit napanood yung mga pelikula. So parang minsan, ito pala yun. Kayo ba, pag every time na, let's say may festival like this or may screening like this, minsan ba parang nagugulat kayo, ito pala ginawa namin, ganun pala, parang may times ba na gusto nyong baguhin over time or like parang happy naman kayo?
Si Gil?
Wala, kasi I think it's a directorial question.
I would love JT first and then let's go with Jaime and then let's end with Estela. Yeah.
Siguro nung napanood ko siya sa Kaohsiung, sabi ko, hala yung projector, iba talaga, ganyan. Kasi ang dilim sa gateway, ganyan. Tapos parang, ang ganda ng color ni Biko sa iMac. Tapos, yung pagdating sa gateway, parang, wala na, dumidilim siya. Tapos yung sa Kaohsiung talaga, pati yung sound, as in, parang, hala, ang ganda, ganyan. Nung nagulat ako sa... Pero, like, ayun, kung may babaguhin ako, parang wala naman. Siguro, like, sobrang learning experience yung nangyari with everything. So, yun yung, hindi ko siya babaguin, pero I will treasure that forever.
Yeah. Jaime, tara.
Yeah, of course. Like I feel like a lot of filmmakers go through that. With mine specifically, I never think about changing a thing. I usually get over it already, then move on to another project. I just learned from this one. But whenever I watched yung Dalagang Bukid, it just reminds me of everything I went through and the whole experience, especially the relationships with the filmmakers I had in that set. It was my first time having Mama Gail on set. It was my first time with Archipelago. I met Terry, and I met a lot of great filmmakers there. So for me, it's more like a memory cap na. Relating to what JT said, it's, you cherish those moments way more. Like, I don't, like, the film is done. It's gone these places, and then it's just a memory in time. It's a piece, somewhere in your life. Yeah. Yeah.
Estela?
Feeling ko ilang beses ako tinanong ni Direkit if gusto ko pa mag-edit. Tapos sabi ko every time, no. Kasi parang yung sinasabi ko nga, yung Frogs, para siyang apology letter, goodbye letter, love letter ko siya sa everything na binibitbit ko dun sa pagkabata ko. Like, yung growing up in the city, tsaka sa Zambales, and yung sureness ko ano ka ba talaga, being two things in two places, parang mga ganong stuff. Tsaka iniyakan ko na siya ng maraming beses, so tama na. So, ayoko na siyang balikan. Okay na, nilock ko na yung timeline, nakamaster na siya. Okay na yun. Tapos, naka-figure out na din kami ng way na hindi lang stereo yung sound. So, bilang post-production, masaya na ako doon. So, move on na tayo. Yay! Masaya na ako doon sa dating.
Dahil tinanong siya ni Biko, tatanungin ko si Biko bilang DOP ng River and ng Frogs. Bakit mo yun siya natanong, Biko? May gusto ka bang baguhin?
Actually, wala na. Actually, wala naman. Parang, ngayon ko lang ulit siya napanood. So, parang, may mga parts na parang, sinut pala namin ito. Ito pala yung ginawa ko. So, parang, wala. Parang, dami lang ding flashbacks din. So, parang, ako naman din personally, parang, hindi ko na rin siya gagalawin. Parang, sacred na siya sa akin. Kasi, learning experience din. So, parang, ayun, pag papanoorin ko, parang, struggle. Charot.
Akala ko magiging episode na po yun ng face-to-face. I just want to say before we end everything, na I really love what Archipelago is doing. I think that, film collectives and film development is very, very important, lalo na ngayon. There are a lot of, film collectives from way before. Obviously, yung mga ginagawa nila Roxley ng Cine, to now we have Street One Productions, we have Pothos Collective, and obviously Archipelago has some amazing talent. And so I really encourage everyone who, is feeling somewhat alone in their filmmaking to also connect with other people, like what they're doing here in Archipelago. And I hope na there's more spaces like this in the future. Ayun. Before we end our particular talk, our particular session, JT recently won an award abroad for The River That Never Ends, the film that you just watched. So essentially, imamock award lang natin siya today. So JT, tayo. Gail, come on.
He couldn't be in Jogja. Ngayon namin ibibigay yung award sa kanya.
Babasahin ko na lang, The 18th JAF Jogja Netpack Asian Film Festival, Luminescence, wow, proudly certifies that The River That Never Ends by JT Trinidad has won the Students Award. Okay, bibigay ko muna ito. Yan. Palakpakan niyo naman si JT. Ay, yan. Pali yung certificate muna. Please take a picture of JT. Ayun. Gail, sumama ka naman sa frame. Ano ka ba? Wow! And then, yeah. And then, picture muna, mabilis. And then finally, the award itself, JT. Kunin mo yung, ayan, certificate. Ayan. Palakpakan naman natin si JT. JT's film will also be screening at the Singapore International Film Festival later this week, I think. Ayun. So, kung gusto nyo pumunta Singapore and panoorin to, go lang. Okay, and that's it. Thank you so much to everyone